here is the Black Lives Movement protest. Peaceful protest at that. You'll be going and seeing lots of stories, and even from the sheriff himself of Traverse City. So, with that said, here you go.
Ending segregation, the Black Panther movement organized community defense programs to protect ourselves. Organized non-racist systems of law
I don't want my children to have to fear the police, and I do not want the police to fear my children. My beautiful black boys and girls are cute now, but in a few short years, they will be viewed as an adult. When will they stop being cute and start being viewed as a threat because of the color of their skin? I am here today to fight for their right to be treated with respect by any and everyone. I am here today to lend my voice to the Black Lives Matter movement because our lives truly matter. Just because we feel tucked away here in our little bubble of Northern Michigan does not mean that racism does not exist. It does not mean that we can't stand up in the fight against police brutality, the desire to have police held accountable, and for them to hold each other accountable. There needs to be an end to racial profiling and the imaginary belief that it happens everywhere, but not in our community. We need to tear down the system that was built to oppress and build anew. Black lives need that. My little black lives need that. The killing of George Floyd and the rest of all four cops has opened up some hard and uncomfortable dialogue about systematic racism and prejudice in our country and in our communities. That conversation, that dialogue needs to continue to happen, not on social media platforms, but in your kitchen, at the dinner table, in your car. It needs to keep happening. Sorry, lost my place. We need to keep pulling back the layers of hate, prejudice, and inequality at all levels until we get to the bare bones and start building a new structure of how we are governed and how we govern ourselves. Today, George Floyd is being laid to rest, and it will not be in vain. We together can make anything possible. History has proven that time and time again. We cannot continue to live in a world of fear. We cannot continue to bury our brothers and sisters at the hands of men and women that are not fit to uphold the law. When my kids grow up and leave home, they should not have to fear being racially profiled or treated differently or killed unjustly by the people that are sworn to serve and protect them. The time is now, the place is here. Let's do what's right for our country and our next generation. Thank you, thank you. Black Lives Matter.
All right, so now we're going to have a young man come up, and he's going to talk about his interaction that he had with law enforcement. Some of it is going to be hard to hear, but I just ask you to open your hearts, open your eyes, everyone here, including the law enforcement, and hear the pain and the fear in this young man's life. So he was once I coached him in basketball, so I know him very well. Come on up here, young man. And even though he looks like he's 16, 17, 18, he's only 13. Yep. 14 now, and this happened to him when he was 12. Go ahead, Adil.
Well, I was at the skate park one day. I was skateboarding. I looked over to my side, so I see two cop cars pull up beside me. They tell me to come over. I didn't know what I did, so I just went over there to talk to them. Next thing you know, they're harassing me about being some other kid that I didn't even know. They slammed me up against their cop car. Two of them pinned me down, wouldn't let me leave. I was in the cops' custody probably for 15-30 minutes. They didn't even write a report. They didn't even listen to my mom when she called. I was 12. I was so scared. I was scared for my life.
Take your time. You got this. It's all right. It was wrong. It was wrong.
I wrote a little something. sick and tired of being a victim of racism. I'm tired of our voices being silenced. I'm tired of being profiled by the police and being slammed up against a cop car, put in handcuffs. We are the children you are supposed to be protecting. I'm tired of being told I speak good, like I have to speak like I'm from the hood. I'm tired of seeing these scared, innocent African Americans die because of our skin color. Being black is not a crime. That could be any of our kids. I'm tired of not being able to go into public schools, which some kids can call their safe place, and still get called a nigger, and still get bashed on for my skin color. I'm tired of not being able to vacation with my family without being screamed at and harassed just because I'm black. I'm tired of it all. I've had enough. It's been 400 years of racism, oppression, and struggle, and it needs to be stopped. Not tomorrow, not next week, now!
I may have turned it off by mistake.
It's okay.
That they wouldn't have to see an innocent black man being tracked down and shot in the street for jogging because he thought he looked like a burglar. I would hope that my kids wouldn't have to see that horrible picture with the knee on somebody's throat. The officer sitting there just staring that face of fear. That was a scary vision. That is hard to explain to kids anywhere. That is hard to explain to someone in the human race why this is happening. And so, that's the reason why I speak out. That's the reason why I'm here. That's the reason why I will not be silent. That's the reason why when I got texts yesterday, calls yesterday, inboxes yesterday saying, please don't go, please be careful, you're putting the target on your back, blah, blah, blah. Uh-oh. I said, F it, I'm tired of living in fear. If we back down, if we hide, if we stay scared, they have done the thing that they wanted us to do. We are silent. And those same people will use MLK words. They would use it to talk about protesting. Those same people. And the same people that think the way these people think are the ones who shot and killed him. And that's what's happened over years and years of oppression. You stand up, people shut you down. They don't want to listen to your voice. Well, our voices are right and you know it. That's the reason why you don't want it. So I'm going to hand this off to another person. Brianna, she has something that she'd like to share with you. We got to rotate the mics.
I'm going to be real with you. I promise you won't make it very long in speaking. My name's Brianna, and I'm a little emotional today. Okay. For a lot of reasons. I'm going to put my last name out there because I want you to remember it. My last name is Desmarais. So you wouldn't think that I had a place here in Traverse City, Michigan. So many times I've been asked, where are you from? I'm from here. I am a Traverse City resident. This is my home. This is my home.
No, I don't.
And these police officers, the law enforcement who are here today, I wanted them here because this is my home and I deserve to feel safe in my home. So to anyone who had a question, why do they want law enforcement there when they're protesting against law enforcement? No, we are not protesting against law enforcement. We are protesting against wrongful law enforcement. And every single one of these law enforcement officers here who have our backs, whether you are white or black or a little bit of everything, they are here showing us that they are supporting us. They see us all. They hear us. So instead of getting on Facebook where you need to be brave and spewing off a bunch of hate when you think that you are being an ally, listen to the people who are up here. I'm speaking up today because if you look, I'm going to call them out. Those two little girls who are literally the tallest people here, those are my Maddie and Joe. I'm speaking up for them. I'm speaking up for Caleb and Maya and Max, who live here. They are children here. They know people who are brown. They are brown. And they deserve to feel safe to use their voice. And feel like they can call out the police if they don't feel safe. Every single person here has a circle, okay? Whether you have family, whether you have a workplace, you have a circle. Probably many circles. Start there. Get off of Facebook. Like they said, have the tough conversations with each other. Do it, I dare you. And if you don't know how to talk to your children about this stuff happening in the world, do it anyways. Do it anyways, because guess what? Children are children, they're going to pick each other up even if their parents don't know how.
You can at least clap.
I don't want to lecture anymore, because honestly that's what I feel like I'm doing, is that I'm giving you a lecture. It's the former nanny in me, I'm not going to lie. Like, do you hear me? Like, are you hearing me, or are you just like hearing me?
We hear you!
Awesome, great. And with that being said, hear everybody else. Hear them all, okay? Because if you hear my voice, like that young man had said, we don't like to be told that we speak so well, okay? Like, I don't love that. I actually hate it. Don't remind me that I fit in a little bit more just because of the way I sound, okay? Like, I should fit in regardless. Don't remind me that the color of my skin makes me other automatically. Thank you. Hi, all. My name is Courtney. I am not a native to Traverse City, but I am a transplant here. Okay, sorry. I am not a native here to Traverse City. I am a transplant.
That's all right.
Thank you for love anyway. I want to speak a little bit about fear. Non-black folks, I know you guys got some fear. I see you when I walk into a grocery store, when I try to get out of my car and I'm walking by and you automatically look at me, see me, lock your cars, clutch your purses. I walk into a grocery store and I have to think about, are my hands in plain sight? I want to make sure that you know that I'm not stealing something.
Yup.
This is every day for us. We have to be thoughtful about the things that we do. If I'm walking in my neighborhood, which is kind of a well-to-do neighborhood, if I'm walking in my neighborhood, I have to think about, am I going to be stopped? Do I have to produce my license to let everyone know that I belong here in this neighborhood? Just the fear that I have. And I have a young son.
got it. You got this.
Keep going.
I have a young son who had to fill out a paper for school all about me. And he said, there's a blank I am nervous about being called black. My child feels like he has to be nervous about being called black. That's messed up.
Yeah.
And he feels that way because of all of this ingrained hate that we have. We need to reverse that. Children should not have to feel that way. It's ridiculous. It is gross. It is unjust. They should be innocent and they should not have to deal with that. And as those children grow up into adults like us, we should not have to feel that way either. So next time you're out and you feel afraid, think about us and what we have to do every single day of our lives, just because the color of our skins. It's ridiculous, guys. Let us reverse this.
As you see, there's a lot of emotion up here, and that's what it should be. And we spoke about our youth a few times up here. And I'll be honest, Northern Michigan, my kids are not here. My kids are not here because I was worried what it may happen. And that's a shame. That's a shame. I sit here I look right here. Young man is witnessing something historical. He's witnessing something historical. He's witnessing something scary too. And this took a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage for him to come down and for mom to bring him down here. At this point, we're going to ask some people to come up and share their story. But I will be honest, is that if it goes a little sideways, I'm just going to look over and just say, cut the mic. Okay? I want to be sincere about why we're here. I want to be sincere about what we need to do to move forward. And we can't move forward without each other. And that includes everybody, including our law enforcement. And as far as being a transplant in this area, there's only a small amount of us who can say they are really not transplants in this area. Yeah? Because this is not just about us, this is about our Native American people too. It's totally real. It's not just about us. You know, it's about our LGBTQ community. It's not about just that, it's about our female community. It's about us stepping up to be respectful adults to one another, alright? I'm going to educate y'all a little bit. I'm going to educate you a little bit. When are we going to stop testing our kids every single day, looking at a computer so we can match our scores up to the person next to us and teach them how to be responsible adults and citizens of the United States? How are we gonna do that? But you know what? Some systems, they don't care about that. Because once you're gone, you're gone. They'll say, well, we graduated 100 kids going to U of M and MSU. I'll cut my own mic. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but, you know, some people say, well, things went south once they took church out of the schools. And I say, no, things went south when we stopped teaching people how to be people. That's the reason why we're here today. People don't know how to treat one another. People don't know how to act like civil human beings. But yet, they got good test scores. So we need a revamp in our educational system too, so we as a people can move forward. All right, I'm just gonna stop. Come on, Kendra, right? Kendra, come on up. Kendra would like to say a couple words.
This thing on? Oh, cool. Hi. I'm just gonna say right now, I'm nervous. So nervous to be up here. I want you to clap for all these speakers right now because everything they said is inspirational. These are the people I look up to. And I hope you all look up to them too. Thank you guys. Thank you. Now, I'm kind of bad at planning things, so we're kind of winging this here, okay? So, my name is Kendra, and I'm 23. I was born in Florida, and I'm adopted by White Cat. I was raised in Wisconsin, like, very white community. I was the only black woman in my class of 53 people. I ended up facing a lot of things I never really expected. I went through, losing my mom, and she was my biggest supporter. I lost her when I was 13, and I ended up being raised by my dad. I am not one to dismiss political views, because you can be Republican, Democrat, liberal, and still be equal. And it's hard because we point fingers at everybody for, you're this, you believe that, you're this, you believe that. And that's not it. That isn't it. I recently had to cut ties with my father because he didn't stand with me. He said that I need to, believe in the system that we have now. He didn't see that there was a problem. We're in a really hard time right now. We are. And I had to cut ties with him because he didn't understand, because I grew up in a white community, that I'm not suffering. He believed that I really am not suffering. When I'm scared for all my black brothers and sisters. I'm scared for all my friends of color. We are all equals, and we should all be treated that way. I don't want to be seen as different from any of you. I want to be seen just like all of you, and because I see all of you just like me. And I'm so happy each and every one of you are here because you're standing with all of us. You know that we are all so equal. And let me tell you, I was on the bus last night, and there was a black man sitting with his daughter, who's also black. And immediately, I got on this bus, and she's like, "Daddy, her hair is just like mine."
She said, she looks just like me. And I said, your curls. I can yell too if y'all can hear me. Looked right at me the second I got on that bus. And she said, Daddy, she looks just like me. She has my hair. She has my skin. And I thought about it. And during times like these, she looked up to me, and I'm scared. I'm scared during these times, and I don't want her to grow up in a world where she feels scared too. I told her and her father when I got off the bus, be safe, because we are living in really hard times right now, and it's scary. It is so scary, and the media shows you there's more hate going on. But look how many people are here right now. Look how many people are here. You're literally all here. This shows that there's so much love still out there. There's hope in humanity.
LGBT people, everybody, thank you. You are all loved. You are all Keep fighting. You are all the change. You are all the change that we need. You are all heroes. So are you.
I don't got much to say, but I wanted to tell everybody, thank you for being here. It means the world to me, and I'm sure everybody here means the world to them too. So, thank you.
Well, thank you, Marshall. First of all, I want to tell you that the law enforcement community, led by the Traverse City Police Department, is doing everything we can to make sure that this is peaceful and we have a peaceful night and a peaceful evening. There's been a whole lot going on that you haven't seen behind the scenes to make sure that you and Traverse City are safe. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I can tell you that what happened in Minnesota was wrong. There isn't a police officer in this county and city that would disagree with me. 76 years ago today, June 6, 1944, thousands of American soldiers died in the D-Day invasion. It was a turning point in World War II. It was a poignant moment in time. Today can be a turning point in Traverse City. A time when we double our effort and commitment to make sure everyone is seen and treated as equal. And I can tell you that the Sheriff's Office and the Traverse City Police Department will be all in with the Traverse City community to do just that. So, Marshall, is the chief up next?
Yes.
I made mine short and sweet because I think the chief has quite a bit more to say. So, Chief O'Brien?
You got me into this, Marshall.
No racist police.
Where's Adele? Adele!
Right here.
Alright. Say it again.
I apologize for that.
Say it loud.
I don't want it to happen again to anyone else.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. Thanks, Adele.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Adele. I really feel out of place here because I don't really have, kind of like invited to a party that.
We're here because of the police. We are here because of the police.
You can tell I'm a little bit older than these younger people because I got mine on a piece of paper here. I want to quote an individual that I've become familiar with through reading and through some of my college studies. I've been working on my master's degree, but Robert L. Woodson Sr., he was born in 1937. He's an American author, and he's been advisor to several presidents, and he founded the Woodson Center in 1981, and it promotes violence-free zone and youth violence. And you could do a little bit of critical thinking and research him. He is one of the original Martin Luther King, peace rally, and nonviolence. And I want to just call on my God right now, the Holy Spirit. And I'm hoping that the Holy Spirit gives me the wisdom that my words are going to have an impact. And I want the Holy Spirit to hope that you understand that what I'm saying is positive. It's a message of peace. So Robert Woodson Sr. wrote in a recent article on May 31st, he said, those who are truly concerned...
Like so. Giving you a break.
A reprieve, if you will. Please don't be parched or drawn out. Drink some water. Take a breath. Breathe, if you will. Calm yourself.
Am I good? He said those that are truly concerned about addressing the tragic loss.
I don't really think they're trying to let the police think. Well, I just might as well get tased real quick.
He said that he witnessed one example several decades ago when he worked with the National Black Police Association, which called for a policy that would require a police officer to restrain or arrest a fellow officer if he witnesses him using undue force.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Loyalty and commitment to the rule of law should prevail over loyalty to fellow officers.
That's right.
If the officers who were involved in the killing of Floyd had come upon 3 civilians engaged in an assault, they would have made an arrest. The same should have applied to the fellow policemen.
He's not a part of it. It should be known already.
During my career, I've got about 30 years on the job, and next year I'll have 30 years. I've seen, and I don't mean to minimize, I'm just going to give you the highlights of incidences in my career that have had an impact on my training. Rodney King, 1991. Michael Brown, 214. George Floyd, 2020.
George Floyd! Hey! George Floyd!
This is what I think that you are telling me. Organizational culture in each one of these agencies was...
Drug test all legal! Floyd rage real!
What the hell did he just say?
They're on the roids.
He obviously must be. He's at the wrong rally. He came to the wrong protest. Humans for the HGH.
Just hold it. Hold it here. I'm asking you guys right now, I understand the frustration, okay? But let him finish as you let me finish. If we stand here for equality, all right? Let's practice what we preach. Do you have frustrations? Hell yeah, you do. But we're here. We are here today to help solve the problem. Do not throw gasoline on the fire. Let's put water on the fire, okay?
Thanks, Marshall. Hell yeah.
What the investigations revealed in each one of these incidents is that the organizational culture within those police agencies was racist. There were practices that the minority communities were crying out and were telling the authorities, the persons in leadership, chiefs, sheriffs, state police, you have police officers that are violating our rights.
Yep.
Law enforcement officers should be held, I'm going back to Mr. Whitson Sr. now. Law enforcement officers should be held to a higher standard because they carry the authority of the state.
That's right.
When they abuse the standard and engage in actions that result in the needless loss of life, they should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of law.
That's right.
I don't know if you're going to agree with this next sentence, but Martin Luther King Jr. cautioned that the only protection that a minority person has is to demand that social principles be applied equally. If racial profiling is wrong, it is equally wrong to stereotype all police based on the actions of a few.
That's true. That's true.
The killing of George Floyd was heinous and justice must be served, but violent protests against the police are not the answer. We have to have, following these civil rights people, they did it peacefully, and I'm asking you to do that, please. I am really encouraged by young people here speaking. You're going to get change if you continually to engage the law enforcement executives peacefully and respectfully. And what I say is just show up and keep pressing play. Keep pressing play. Keep pressing play. Change will happen.
Here today. I just moved up to Traverse City about 2 months ago, so real fresh here, and it's very nice to see so many people out in support of your fellow Americans and your fellow humans. And so I thank all of you for being here today.
What's your name?
My name is Joe, and I just want to share a couple words with you today. I've had my run-ins with the police. There was a time where I got called, or they were responding to a seeming drunk driver. I was not under the influence or anything like that. It was raining, it was dark, and I was taking my time getting home. Pulled up one by 2 police cruisers. This was during the time that Philando Castile was being murdered. I was fearful for my life. And when that had happened, the officers had asked me, why am I so afraid? I told them, the reason why I was afraid is because I'm a young black man, and I kind of felt like it was open season on young black men. And so I even apologized to them. I'm sorry that I'm afraid right now. I don't want to be, but I am. They then proceeded to ask me, are you sure you're not afraid because you have any dope in the car? No, I did not have any dope in the car. But that's the exact kind of situation that perpetuates this kind of violence. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we are not here because we are trying to start a race war. Never let that be. Never let that be what people try to make this. This is not a race war. It is not black versus white. It is not. We're all here together. We all share this planet together. We wake up every single day under the same sun. We will be buried under the same dirt. We have the same time here. This is not a race war. This is the war against oppression. This is the war against violence. This is a war against what it means to live in America and to be an American. When we protest today, this is the most American thing that we can do. We all are here for one purpose, and that is to show that we care. We care, not just about ourselves, our families, our friends, our community. Strangers, people we've never met. We live in an age where compassion is seen as weakness, and that is not true. The strongest people love. And that is what we will do. We will love until we have change, and we will not stop. Because to stop loving is to stop being human.